I usually have a topic that I want to discuss, but I'm going to forego that this week because we're going to talk a little more of what's going to happen after the new year with this podcast. If you already listened to the Capital Games podcast on the podcast feed, first off, thank you for listening. Secondly, you know what we're going to start doing on the Capital Games feed and on the Capital Games YouTube channel. And that's basically, we're going to start doing more constant content. So instead of doing 2 hours or 1 hour and a half podcasts every week, we're just going to cover things as they come. And that's for the gaming podcast. The movie podcast, which is the side companion piece for this podcast, I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to do it on the YouTube channel and on the feed as well for the podcast. So what's going to happen is when we started this, I was thinking this would be a nice, cute companion piece that we'd have with the game podcast. And it's just something that we can talk about differently, especially since I'm a big movie mark. And Zero, not really, but he does like movies. But it was interesting getting the point of view from somebody who isn't as big of a movie fan as I am, and to see what things that he likes. So hopefully when he returns, we'll get to do that more. But we're going to go solo for now still. So what I'm going to do basically is, instead of having the podcast every Thursday and just have an episode every Friday, I'm going to do the same thing with the movie podcast as I am doing with the gaming podcast, which is basically we're going to do more content where I will probably review more movies. That's what I hope to do in this. I'm going to review more movies, and then when stories come up in the movie industry or sometimes in the TV industry, along those lines as well, I will discuss it on the feed, and I'll discuss it on the YouTube channel right away, probably in a day's time. That's what the plan is right now for the movie podcast and for the gaming podcast. And, that's it with that. The only thing that's changing, I'd say, with the podcast in the New Year's is that we're going to have more of it. And it's going to be in smaller chunks than having just one big chunk every week and us breaking up on the YouTube channel. So that's what I'm hoping to do on this one. So if you are still watching and still listening and you enjoy it, thank you for listening. And we're going to have more for you as the new year comes.